guys, it's Jessica here at My Stay at Home Journey. I'm currently a full-time working mom. I'm a speech therapist and I work in a school district with elementary age students. But for a lot of different reasons, I've decided to become a stay-at-home mom. If you want to know more about that, you can go back and watch my first video. I'll link it below, but it explains my story and my reasons why. But today I wanted to talk a little bit more about the plan. I have kind of a 3-step plan that's going to hopefully help me save enough money and make enough money on the side to be able to stay at home. So the first step, and this is a step that I think is important the second you decide that this is what you want to do, and that is to just start saving as much money as possible. Try to live on the one income you're going to have. See if it's even doable, and then anything extra from what I'm making now can just go right into savings. That way we kind of have a picture of what it's going to look like when we are living on that one income, but also give us a safety net so that if things go badly, if we have to have an expensive repair or something done, that we will have a little bit of wiggle room when I do quit my job. So I will be done with my contract in about 5 months at the end of this summer. So that gives us, we started about a month ago when I decided I for sure wanted to take this step. So that'll give us about 6 months to hopefully just save, and practice, living like we're going to have to live. And then step number 2, this isn't rocket science, guys. I know it's super simple, but step number 2 is to decrease our spending, obviously. So you have to look at your budget and see, what can I control? What can I change? What can I decrease? The first thing that we noticed when we started doing this was that we have so many different subscription services. We have, so many streaming services. So we kind of just went through and canceled everything we could. And that was a good way to get rid of a big chunk of money that we really didn't need to be spending. The next big area that our family was spending way too much money was on food, whether it was like groceries or the big thing was going out to eat. I know as a working mom, I will make my grocery list and do my grocery shopping when I'm being super ambitious and I do have a plan. I'm like, I'm going to make this and this and this. It's going to be great. And then it's Tuesday night and I'm not getting home till 5:30 and I'm exhausted. And the thought of making that meal that I had planned is so daunting that half the time I'm just like, all right, let's go out or let's order pizza. So that's one of those things that's worth the sacrifice, to cook at home in order to live this life that I want to live. So while it was fine while I was a working mom, going out to eat is going to have to be a treat now. And then as far as groceries go, I know prices are outrageous right now, but in the past, I would make my plan, buy my food, and then I'd be throwing stuff away every week that was expired. So I've started to really try to make it a habit to go through my fridge and go through my pantry and see what ingredients I have and what meals can I build on what I already have. Another thing is trying to use up what we have before buying more when it's something that, is going to go bad quickly. So we've been trying to do that. So that's another way, something that's somewhat controllable where you can cut some of those costs. Another place we can cut a lot of spending is on entertainment. I know that has kind of been done for us to an extent, because of all the stay-at-home orders and everything that happened 2 years ago. I know I personally still am not out and about like I used to be. But just finding those free things. There's so many free ways to get the kids out and do something fun, whether it's going to the park or going to the library, going hiking. And a lot of times it's things that are outdoors or, educational. So do some research and I'm sure there's lots of ways you could save money. So that's another thing that we're going to try to cut back on. And something new that I've started in the past month is really watching my Amazon purchases. In the past, it's so easy to say, oh, I need this. Let me just quickly order it on Amazon. A couple clicks, and then, it's there in a couple days. I would do that multiple times a day. And sometimes it was things I needed, but sometimes I'd be on Instagram and see something cute and, put it in the cart, just little impulse things like that. And it really adds up, and it's a lot of stuff that I really don't need. So I've started on Amazon for things that are not emergencies, and I'm finding I don't really have very many Amazon emergencies. I'll put it in the cart if it's something I think I need, and I'll wait a week. I'll wait till every Monday. I've kind of been doing it, and I'll look through and think, what can I take out? What do I not need? And what do I actually really need? And I think I've only bought one thing on Amazon since I started doing that. So that's been huge. Because like I said, those small little $12, $20 purchases, they add up a lot. And I guess the biggest thing is that it's just really important to make a budget. I've heard it said before that making a budget actually gives you permission to spend, because you have a set amount for things like, extras or entertainment or going out to eat. And you don't feel guilty because that money is already set aside for those things. And I think it's impossible to completely cut out like all fun things. So it's important to budget a little bit of money for those fun things. And then our third step in bringing me home to become a stay-at-home mom is that we're going to try to make as much money on the side, or I'm going to try to make as much money on the side as I can. The first way and the biggest way right now is, since I'm a speech therapist, I am able to make digital products. They're digital downloads, and it's a website that teachers or educational SLPs, people like that can access, and they can purchase your product, and it's just a digital download, so you're not worrying about any, actual handheld goods or anything like that. It's a really good way to make some passive income, and that's probably my biggest way because it's already kind of an established business that I have on the side. So I'm going to work on really building that up. And I think there are so many ways right now to make money online. So just look at your skills. Is there something that you could monetize, something you could sell online, or even some kind of service that you could do remotely? Another way I'm going to use my speech therapy skills that I already have. I don't want to just not use them. I went to school for a long time to become a speech therapist. But I'm hoping to get a few private practice clients on the side where I'll just travel to their house and work with them there, on my schedule. So it's a lot more flexible than that 9-to-5 job that I have now. Another good way is just to sell your old stuff, whether it's on Mercari or one of those resale sites, or Facebook, buy, sell, and trade groups, things like that. And then there's always things like Uber, Instacart, DoorDash, those types of things you can do on the side in your own time. I know I have a couple friends that have done that and made a lot of money just doing it a couple hours here and there on the weekends. There's so many options these days. And I guess we're also just kind of treating this as a trial period. We have all these plans in place, and then if it really doesn't work after 6 months or a year, I'll go back to work. There's, it's so many places are hiring right now. Hopefully it wouldn't be hard to find another job as an SLP. I don't know if I'd ever want to work in the schools again because it was so stressful. Watch my last video if you want to know more about that. But yeah, I could do teletherapy, or, luckily speech therapy is a pretty diverse field. There's a lot of options. So yeah, just look at it as a trial period. See how it works. And if it's not working out, you can always go back to work. And if it is, then you get to live your dream. And that's what I'm hoping happens, obviously. I guess the biggest thing is just to keep that goal in mind. I've only been doing this for about a month, but I've definitely had those days where I just want to go on Amazon and make that impulse purchase, or go to Starbucks and get a drink, things like that. I don't feel like working on those side hustles. I just want to relax because my baby's up 3 times a night still. But I have to remember those things are so small when I look at the long-term goal. And being able to live my dream. This has been what I've wanted to do ever since I had kids 8 years ago. Well, had my daughter 8 years ago. I've always wanted to be able to stay home with her. And now that I have a newborn baby, I want to be able to live this goal. And even with all the planning in the world, I feel like it still takes that leap of faith. You have to just go for it. And so if you're in the same boat that I am, I guess my advice is do what you can, control what you can, and then you just have to trust that the rest is going to be okay. So yeah, that's how my family is planning on trying to make it work. Please let me know if you're in the same boat, if you have any great money saving tips or things that worked for you, or side hustles that really brought in a lot of money. And follow along with my journey. If you want to subscribe, like I said last time, hopefully you'll be following along and seeing a success and not seeing me crash and burn. But yeah, hopefully with all this planning, things will go well. Bye, guys.